Hey, what's happening, everyone? This is Lawrence Ross. Want to comment on something, and this is a case of history repeating itself. We have another hockey commentator who is in hot water. Let's rewind the timeline a little bit here. Back in November of this year, Don Cherry was dropped from the Coach's Corner segment on Sportsnet because he referred to immigrants as those people because he was offended that they were not wearing the proper garb in regards to commemorating Veterans Day. He got in trouble for that. And now we have Jeremy Roenick at NBC Sports. He's been temporarily suspended for off-color comments he made about some of his co-workers on the Spittin' Chicklins podcast at Barstool Sports. He was talking about a vacation that he was on, and he said he was with two blonde women, and the long and short of it is, he ended up saying that he would love to have sex with one of his coworkers, but he knows it couldn't happen. Now, I happen to think this guy, this is just my opinion, I happen to think he doesn't respect women all that much. Yeah, he may be married and stuff, but can you imagine what his poor wife must be thinking when she hears that? She has to feel pretty upset. She's going to feel pretty offended. I mean, this is a guy who is just trying to project his sexual deviancy, and he thinks that, well, since I'm only, saying it, I'm not going to act on it, I'll be okay. No. The best thing for this guy to have done was to just keep his yap shut about it, or at the very least just say, hey, look, I just came back from a real nice vacation. It was great. Hang out with some very beautiful women. It was a great time. Let's talk about the hockey season. Let's talk about how the Boston Bruins are up on top. Let's talk about how the Avalanche are kind of going down a little bit. And let's talk about how the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're kind of going down a little bit, and hopefully they can get better. But actually, the Tampa Bay Lightning won last night 6-1 against the Florida Panthers. But, yeah. And inappropriate comments. I mean, I'm a man and all, but I'm cut from a bit of a different cloth. All right? Now, I enjoy edgy comedy. All right? I enjoy it. But I don't think that way because I know that the person performing it is just doing an act. Like Andrew Dice Clay, all right? He said some real misogynistic, real chauvinistic stuff back in the day. But he even says on one of his albums, in the middle of his act, he even says, hey, these are jokes, And then he goes on to do, whatever his next bit is on the album. So it's just an act. Now, I do a radio show, and we recently had to drop somebody from the program because he made very inappropriate comments. And give you an example of what I'm talking about. One night we were talking, and I asked him something, hey, look, I've been struggling with women. You've known me for X amount of years. What's your take? And he suggested, well, why don't you be a dick? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, no, that's not how I operate, dude. Then we were talking a little bit more, and he says, okay, here's a suggestion. Why don't you take somebody out to Tampico's? Tampico's is his restaurant I like to frequent, by the way, everyone. And he says, take a woman out to Tampico's, and then when it's all done, turn to her and say, hey, don't turn this rape into a murder. Now, what kind of guy says that? Seriously, what kind of guy says that? And that wasn't the comment that got him dropped, by the way. The comment that got him dropped was when he texted our lone female contributor who has been trying to help him out. We've been trying to help him out, and he told her, fuck off. That's exactly what he said. Those are his words, not mine, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah. So this Jeremy Roenick guy, shame on this guy, and I wonder how many concussions did this guy get when he was playing for the various teams that he played for? How many times this guy ran into the boards? Evidently, so now apparently he thinks that he can get away with this kind of stuff. But, it's the 21st century, and you got to be very careful when it comes to the way that you address women in our society especially. And You may think you're free and all that stuff, but anything you say that could be perceived as controversial, you have to really tread lightly. That's just the way the game is played, folks. Either you know how to play it or you don't. My advice to some of these hockey commentators who have gotten in trouble, shut the puck up and keep some of your opinions to yourself and just focus on the game. Try not to get too off topic. If you're going to get off topic, just make it short and sweet. Like with Don Cherry. I think he should have said, Happy Veterans Day. Let's talk about the Lightning in Sweden with this Jeremy Roenick guy. I think he should have said, well, just got back from a real nice vacation. Great time. Let's talk about what the season may hold in the next couple of months. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got on that. I'm Lawrence Ross. That's the way I see it. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.